50 Famous Fairy Tales. Tale number 10. Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. In far eastern lands there was once a magician who, through his magic books, learned about a wonderful lamp. He alone knew where to find this lamp, but he could not get it by himself, for the lamp would have no magic power until it left the hand of its finder and was touched by another. So the magician sought some stupid person to get the lamp for him. Now it happened that the magician met a poor boy named Aladdin. Aladdin's father had just died, and his mother was having a hard time of it, for she had no relatives of her own to look after her, and she did not know where her husband's family lived. The wicked magician rubbed his hands with glee when he heard of all this, for he thought that Aladdin would be just the one to help him get the lamp. So he brought a basket of fruit as a present, and went to Aladdin, saying, "I am your long-lost uncle, the brother of your dear dead father. Ah, I would have known you anywhere, for you look so much like him. Take this fruit to your mother and ask her if I am welcome in her house." Aladdin raced home and told his mother news. Of course, he was overjoyed to find someone to help her, and she prepared the best meal possible and bade the false uncle welcome. Next day, the false uncle brought new clothes for Aladdin and took him all over town, telling him to look carefully and choose the sort of trade he would like to follow, and promising to set him up in any business he selected. Aladdin now trusted the man completely and was ready to do anything he asked. On the second day, the magician took Aladdin on a long walk outside the city gates, through beautiful gardens and up into the hills, farther than Aladdin had ever been before. At length they came to a fountain springing up between two hills. "We shall go no farther," said the false uncle. "Gather sticks for a fire so that we may cook our dinner." Aladdin did as he was told, but when the fire was blazing, instead of cooking the dinner, the magician tossed a magic powder into the flames and mumbled some strange words. Immediately the ground shook beneath their feet. The fire vanished in a great cloud of hissing smoke, and in its place was a square flat stone with a brass ring in the middle. Aladdin's teeth were chattering with terror, and he would have run away, but the magician caught him by the ear and cuffed him soundly. "Stay here," he hissed. "The greatest treasure in the world lies beneath that stone, and you try to run away." At the word treasure, Aladdin forgot his fears and listened to what the magician was saying. "Place this ring on your finger," ordered the magician. "Then lift the stone." Aladdin placed the ring on his finger. Then he took hold of the stone to lift it, and it came up easily, revealing a narrow, winding stone staircase. "Descend the stairs," commanded the magician, but take care lest your clothes touch the walls, for if they do so you will die. At the end of the passageway you will find me a lighted lamp. Pour out the oil and bring the lamp to me." Aladdin descended the stairs and found himself in a narrow passageway, bordered with fruit trees. The fruit gleamed so brightly that Aladdin plucked some and filled his pockets. He found the lamp and returned with it to the staircase. The wicked magician was waiting with outstretched hands at the top of the stairs. "The lamp! The lamp!" he cried. "Give it to me!" But Aladdin was too clever to give up the lamp until he was safely out of the pit. "You shall have it when I am ready to give it to you," the boy answered. At this, the magician flew into a fit of temper and slammed the flat stone back in place, leaving Aladdin in blackness. The poor youth was afraid to move an inch for fear his garments would touch the walls of the cave and bring him instant death. He crouched on the steps for what seemed like an endless time. At last he clasped his hands in prayer, and in so doing he rubbed the magic ring which the magician had placed on his finger. Instantly a hissing cloud of smoke rose before him, and in its midst was a genie who bowed low, saying, "Master of the ring, I am your slave. Command, and I obey." Scarcely daring to believe his good fortune, Aladdin said, "Bring me up again into the sunlight." The words were no sooner spoken than he found himself above ground, and the sun shining brightly. He hastened home and told his mother all that had happened. When he drew forth the fruit he had picked in the passageway, he discovered that it was not fruit, but jewels. They are of no use to us," said his mother sadly, "for if we tried to sell such valuables, we would be hanged for thieves." "We can at least sell the lamp," said Aladdin. "No one would suspect us of stealing such a dirty old thing." "Let me have it," said his mother, and she took it in her hands and began to polish it with her apron, thinking that a clean lamp would bring a higher price. Instantly a genie appeared in a cloud of smoke. The poor woman nearly fainted with fright and would have dropped the lamp, but Aladdin caught it and said, "Bring us food." The smoke cleared away, leaving a table richly spread with silver bowls and dishes, all filled with the most tempting and luscious foods. Aladdin helped his mother to her feet, and they sat down to the feast. For some time afterward, they lived well on the money gained by selling the silver dishes one at a time. When these were gone, Aladdin summoned the genie again, and they were thus never in need of anything. Now it changed one day that Aladdin caught a glimpse of the daughter of the emperor. While the princess was on her way to the river with her ladies in waiting, the beauty of the princess was so dazzling that Aladdin fell in love with her at sight and longed to have her for his wife. So, according to the custom of the country, he told his mother to go to the emperor and ask for the princess as a bride. The good woman was filled with horror, for it was an unheard of thing that the son of a poor widow should marry a princess. But Aladdin begged her to go and take the jewels from the magic cave as a gift, and at last she agreed. At first the emperor would not even listen to her request, but when she unfolded her scarf and showed him the jewels, his eyes lighted greedily. "Ah, my good woman," he said, "if your son truly wants to marry my daughter, he will send me 40 golden baskets, each heaped to the brim with precious jewels. Do this, and then I will listen to what you have to say." So the woman went home and told Aladdin, who immediately summoned the genie and demanded the 40 golden baskets of jewels. Then, once more, Aladdin's mother went to the emperor and asked that her son be allowed to marry the beautiful princess. The emperor did not intend to let such a son-in-law escape, and he agreed immediately that the wedding should take place. Aladdin, however, said that he must wait until he had built a palace worthy of his bride, and the emperor gave him the land right next to his own estate. Of course, Aladdin then summoned the genie of the lamp. Building a palace was no more difficult for the genie than providing a meal. Before the nightingales in the palace garden could finish one trill, there appeared a domed palace with windows of rubies and diamonds. It was complete to the smallest detail, and there was even a roast pig in the oven. The wedding was performed without delay, and Aladdin took his beautiful bride home to their new castle. He was so noble and kind that she loved him so dearly. Indeed, in a short time, everyone in the whole country was praising the handsome young Prince Aladdin. But alas for happiness! Far, far across the sea, in deepest Africa, the wicked magician heard of Aladdin's success and knew that only the wonderful lamp could have gotten him such wealth and power. His evil heart was wild with rage, and he determined to bring about Aladdin's ruin. Forthwith he set out and traveled night and day until he came to the town where Aladdin lived. Disguising himself as a ragged merchant, he went about the streets with a basket of shiny new lamps, crying out, "New lamps for old! New lamps for old! Who will trade me new lamps for old?" Now Aladdin was out hunting at the time, but his wife heard the lamp merchant and thought it would be amusing to see if the old fellow really would do such a silly thing as trade a new lamp for an old one. She looked all over the palace for the oldest lamp she could find, and of course chose the magic lamp which Aladdin had hidden in a corner without saying anything to her about it. No sooner did the old magician have the magic lamp in his hands than he whisked out of sight. Once he was away from the crowds, he rubbed the lamp and ordered the genie to transport the palace with the princess in it across the sea to the deepest Africa. When the emperor discovered that his daughter had vanished, he ordered Aladdin to be brought before him and threatened to cut off Aladdin's head if he did not restore the princess and the palace immediately. Aladdin, half crazed with grief, begged for time in which to accomplish this task, and the emperor granted him 40 days and 40 nights in which to find the princess. Aladdin then went to a secret place, rubbed the magic ring, and when the genie appeared, Aladdin commanded him to restore the princess in the palace. "That I cannot do," said the genie. Only the slave of the lamp can undo what has been done." "Then take me to the princess, wherever she may be," ordered Aladdin, and as quick as a breath he found himself in his own palace beside his sleeping bride. She awakened with a start and clapped him in her arms for joy. But her joy turned to tears as she told him of the wicked magician. "Do not fear," Aladdin told her. Put this powder in his wine when he joins you at supper. Drink none yourself, and leave all else to me." Then Aladdin hid himself behind a curtain, and the princess did as he commanded her. The magician came and drained the poisoned wine to the last drop. Instantly he fell to the floor, lifeless. Aladdin sprang from his hiding place and seized the lamp which the magician had hidden in his shirt. Rubbing it hastily, Aladdin ordered the genie to take the palace and everyone in it back to where they had come from. As swiftly and gently as the whispering wind, the order was accomplished. The emperor welcomed his daughter and Aladdin with joyous feastings. They lasted 10 days and 10 nights, And when the years passed and the emperor grew old, Aladdin reigned, and the whole land prospered and was happy. The end.